Hello, everyone. I hope that everyone is doing well today. Back to the fields, back to the work. And usually when I come in during the mornings to the farm, I would lay out or map out the things that need to get done. And these trees were project number one, and so were the grasses. So I tend to evaluate what needs to be done and do it. Now, this was a stubborn tree stump that I have been battling for about 3, maybe 4 days because it refuses to go. So I have had to burn it a few times, dig a hole around it to try to find where its source was, because it must be very, very deep, and it wasn't allowing me to simply get rid of it. So I continue the burning process. Again, it's safe, there's nothing around it, so it's a safe burn. I don't know why, but I'm starting to see why other people find fire fascinating to watch. Not in a bad way, just to see its actions. Next, I evaluated the second side of what I thought I wanted to do for the day. So phase 1 would have been those trees near the rock wall. And this is phase 2 near the foundation, because these grass are as tall as I am, and I am 5'5". So they were necessary. It was necessary to put them on the agenda to get them started. But I started with the trees first. And to do that, I had to get rid of everything that was in the way that would cause a hindrance. This was not difficult work, it's just exercise. Basically now it's just exercise. But it is necessary because you have to get rid of the trees in order to get to the stump. And it's the stump that we want to get rid of so that the tree itself does not return. All of these trees will have a necessary purpose. At the end of the video, you will see what we're going to use them for. And it's very, 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 very useful. They will not go into the landfill. They will not be burned. Now this one, this needed the saw. The cutlass was not getting anywhere with this one. And you can see, it may be difficult to see, but the stump is massive. It is absolutely massive. So I had to do it in stages. So you cannot, patience is necessary. I may have underestimated this tree because there are so many branches, but I think I had underestimated the tree itself and the stump, because I knew somewhere along the line this was taking longer than I anticipated, but I had to continue. Use all the tools you can. Use everything you have in your arsenal to get the job done. Ultimately, we are supposed to win. Now at this moment, I am arranging all of those trees that were cut because, like I said, they will be absolutely useful. And if you continue to the end of the video, you will see why they are necessary. So some things you simply do not destroy because you can, because they are needed somewhere else. And these trees were absolutely needed somewhere else. I was amazed at how much it was actually. But now we can see the trees are gone. All we have left are the stump, and again, that stump was extremely huge. It's difficult to see its full capacity on camera, but it is large, and I know when it comes to burning it, it's going to take more than one try or two tries. It may take a few, but it will be a safe burn because one, it's on a rise, and behind it is the rock wall. So there will not be any challenges when it comes to burning it. It's just a matter of knowing that it will not be a one-time event. Now, next to the foundation, we begin. And again, sometimes a machete, sometimes whatever tool you have may not be as effective. So for me, when I have tall, very, very tall bushes and stubborn trees that have stubborn roots, I pull out the pickaxe because it is much more easier and you don't have to bend so much, and you're simply using the axe because it's heavy and you're simply swinging and using the force of the axe to pull up the branch, to pull up the weeds itself. And again, it is only after you are compiling all of these bush that you have removed from the land, and you're putting them in a pile to basically get ready to prepare for burning. You are amazed at how much weeds come out of the ground. You're not thinking about it as you are weeding, you're just thinking, I'm pulling up the weeds. But when you put them into a pile, it is simply astounding. But again, you have to do the work. That's why we are there, to get the work done and to get it done satisfactorily, efficiently, so that when you are finished, you are pleased with what you are seeing before you. And this is what I mean. When you have done enough for the day, and the end of the day you're looking around and saying, what have I accomplished? That is when you feel a sense of achievement, a sense of, I got it done. You get that feeling of, it's not perfect, there's more to do, but each time you do a little, and you do a little, you tend to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, what's before you is it's beautified. It's beautiful. Starting a new word, it's beautified. And so began the burn of those stumps that were cut earlier. And again, a safe burn. There's nothing around it. There's just a rock wall and space in front of them. So there was no challenge of having to start a fire or to cause harm to any neighboring areas. So you're simply being concerned, one, that the fire is in a safe environment, and two, that you are there. You don't light the fire and leave. You are there until the fire is done. And again, looking at the fire, the shapes of the smoke. The smoke was making shapes. It was just pretty to just behold for a minute, because you realize fire in the Bible is always something God uses for purification, and it has its purpose. It simply has its purpose. Now this task is never ending. It is the job of filling a vast foundation with rocks. Now, if you had a tractor, this would be easier, but because many tractors don't want to do this small job, it's just a matter of being consistent, using the wheelbarrow, and loading and unloading each time. But eventually, I think when you look around, and I look around, I'm going to see a full foundation, and knowing that it took one wheelbarrow at a time, a stack of rocks at a time. But ultimately, it will be done. Now here is the accomplishment for the left side of the foundation. Again, there's always going to be more to do in a farming environment, but the more you do, little by little, it will eventually have a good end. It will have a good end.